All right, so we're going to take a look at another example. We're going to use our graphing calculator again to figure out some of these properties of our function. First things first, we need to graph our function. We're going to first press zoom, and we're going to scroll down and pick number 6, zoom standard. So this brings our axes back to our 10 by 10. That's the usual. You'll notice I still have the old graph in there. We can get rid of that momentarily. We'll press Y equals. We're going to clear that, and we're going to enter in this one right here. So we go for that, x squared plus x minus 2, hit graph. We can see enough of the graph that we're quite happy with that. So we're looking for the y-intercept, the x-intercept, or intercepts, the axis of symmetry, the vertex, domain, and range. Let's start with the vertex. In this case, it's going to be a minimum, right? Because it's the bottom of the parabola. So we're going to go second, trace. We're going to choose minimum. Again, the left bound has to be on the left side of that minimum point. That looks good there. The right bound needs to be on the right side. I'll move it way over there just to be sure. So we get our vertex at point negative 0.5. So we'll round that to 0.5 and negative 2.25. Trying to draw with my mouse here. It's pretty rough. That's a 2. There, that sort of looks 2-ish. So that's our vertex. So we can get our axis of symmetry from there. It's just going to be x is equal to, we take the x value, 0.5. We can get our range, y is greater than or equal to negative 2.25. Y is an element of the reals. Now in parabolas, unless you're talking about some real life example like arches or water arches or something like that, the domain is just x is an element of the reals, right? These are continuous lines that go on forever and ever and ever, so x can be anything. All right, and we got all of that out of the vertex. Let's figure out the y-intercept. This one is a little bit easier. This is the y-intercept is when x is equal to 0. So again, we're going to go second trace, right? We're going to go for calc. So we're going to do lots of calculations on our parabola. Second trace value. When x equals 0, y will equal negative 2. So our y-intercept is negative 2. Now, last but not least, let's find our x-intercepts. There are 2 of them, right? It crosses the x-axis in these 2 locations. So let's figure those out. So again, second trace 0, right? When y is equal to 0, so we're looking for the zeros. So left bound, we need to be on the left side. So that's the left side of where it crosses. Right bound needs to be on the right side. Yes. So the first one's at negative 2. And we can do the same thing again. Second trace 0. So we'll go to the left of where it crosses, to the right of where it crosses, guess, and it's at 1. So for this function right here, y is equal to x squared plus x minus 2. We graphed it on our graphing calculator. We found the y-intercept to be negative 2. Hey, look at that, negative 2. X-intercepts at negative 2 and 1. The axis of symmetry is at negative 0.5. We found our vertex to be at negative 0.5 and negative 2.25. For parabolas, domain is x is an element of the reals, xer, and range y, in this case y will be greater than the minimum value. So we look at our y value from our vertex. Y is greater than negative 2.25, and again y is an element of the real numbers.